hours and get paid to live here. How the fuck are y'all gonna bring somebody else here? Don't make no fucking sense. None.
Right.
Shalom. I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, citation, and blessings to the elect who firmly believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. As you can see, you know, the grip is getting a lot tighter, man. The grip is getting a lot tighter here in Babylon the Great. You know, foreclosures is at an all-time high. Even actually before, you know, the C-19, the pandemic over there in, back in 2020. You know, you got a lot of people foreclosing on the property, and, you know, they're actually doing it illegally, you know, because essentially, you know, we're approaching a time to where I forgot the devil's name at the moment, but he said, you know, you will own nothing and be happy. You know, so a lot of people who are behind on their mortgage payments, they're getting evicted, man. You know, they're getting evicted. And in the same token, here it is, they're allowing the immigrants to come here into the country, you know, giving them pretty much free money, you know, pretty much supplying them, you know, and totally negating the American citizens. So, you know, Jake is getting roused up, man, you know, and these are the scriptures. You know, the prophecies are coming to pass at an alarming rate. So let's start with Genesis chapter 49, verse 9. And I believe that guy was a so-called Negro, Judah, right, from the tribe of Judah. Genesis 49 and 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Because essentially, Jake is in a state of comfortability. You know, Jake is in a state of comfortability to where, you know, he feels as though he has his necessities. You know, he is taking care of the day to day. You know, he really didn't have a want for nothing. But now the pressure is on. Now these devils, these Edomites, the so-called white man, is putting the pressure on the American citizens, primarily Jake. You know what I'm saying? Because Jake is the ones, you know, really struggling out here. You know, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, right? And what these devils want to do is do away with the middle class. You know, it's either you're going to be rich or poor. And that is a tactic, you know, to promote anarchy, you know, when you check it out, you know, reading through these devils' playbook, you know, through the spirit. Because like the scriptures say, Proverbs chapter 30, I'm going to start at verse 8. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. You know, and that's wisdom. You know, feed me with food convenient for me. So he doesn't want poverty, nor does he want riches. So you got to ask yourself, if you don't want poverty, you don't want riches, what do you want to be? You want to be in the middle. And what's that? The middle class, right? And you can see how stressed out that guy was, because now he's in a position of where he's in poverty. And King Solomon is going to get into it. Verse 9, least I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? Because that's what happens when you're rich. You know, people rely upon their money, you know, and not the Lord. You know, if the Lord allowed us to where, you know, brothers had millions or even billions, you know what I'm saying, we will use it wisely. Why? Because we have the truth. We have the understanding, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Right? It says, least I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? Or at least I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. You know, because that's next step. You know, when you got all of these people who are middle class now considered poor, anarchy is going to come forth. Robbing and stealing is going to be at a all-time high. Breaking and entering is going to be at an all-time high. Home invasions. You know, they call them B&Es. You know, it's going to be at an all-time high. So if you take away the middle class, that's what you're forcing people to do. They're trying to take God out the picture, man. You know, they're trying to take away, you know, the people's faith from the Most High by creating harsh conditions, harsh realities, a crumbling economy, you know, a crumbling, hyperinflation is on its way, you know. So these are the tactics that these devils, is using. These are the tactics that these devils are using, to promote this madness. And we've been telling you from the beginning, we have the hope for elect. We've been telling you that this distress was on the way. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another people in swords in their hands. Why is that? Because it's complete anarchy. There's going to be a lack of food. There's going to be a lack of water. There's going to be a lot of homelessness. There's going to be a lack of resources. It's going to be a dog-eat-dog world in that day. We have the hope for elect. We're going to be taken care of. Why? Because the scriptures say so. The Lord's going to provide us with food to eat. The Lord's going to provide us with water to eat. The Lord's going to protect us. The Lord's going to have the angels providing that hedge for brothers. Wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of our time in that day. And the fear of the Lord is our treasure. 2/3 don't have that protection because they don't know the word. They don't even know the Lord's name. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. That's right. You see what the guy said? There shall be sedition among men. He's complaining about America helping these immigrants and not American citizens. That's what's causing the sedition amongst men. There's a lot going on in the world today, man. And guess what? We have the hope for elect. We're excited to see these things happen. This is what we call the gospel. Good news. Good news to us is bad news for the world. It says a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's what we call martial law. You're not going to be able to go to city, state to state, country to country, continent to continent. The Lord's going to put a stop to all of that so-called liberty. All because what? Prophecy has to be fulfilled. But because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. Everything is happening because of the pride of the people. Pride, man. Pride is when one separates from his maker. It says the houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Why is that? Because he has a lack of resources. But shall destroy their houses with the sword. The modern day. What's the modern day sword? A gun. It could be a machete. It could be an actual knife. It could be an actual sword. It's an instrument of a weapon. It's going to be used at an all-time high, as we approach these latter days, man. And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So we've been warning you, man. That's why we're not going to feel no way when it happens. We just hope Yahweh Bashim Yahushua protects us in these times of warfare. Babu Kasha, you know what I'm saying? Great. The times that's coming has never been seen nor known to man. And that time is called Jacob's trouble. We are in the beginning phases of Jacob's trouble, man. It says Jeremiah 30:7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who's going to be saved out of it? The elect. We have the hope for elect, the men that are sighing and crying for the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. This is the hope that we have. In the midst of all of this anarchy and madness, we have the hope for something. 2/3 ain't going to hope for nothing. They going to know and understand that these are the last days, but they ain't going to know who to call on because they ain't never put in the work. They ain't never call on a name. So they food in this day. They going to be food in that day. Straight up and down. And then they're going to know that there was a prophet amongst them. Once these things come to pass, then they're going to know that there was a prophet amongst them. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So the harsh realities that's coming has never been seen nor known to man. It hasn't been. So how you going to prepare for something that has never happened? You can't. The Lord got to be on your side. It says, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Who's written in the book? The elect. You know, the Lord is going to deliver us, brothers, man. You know, we got to firmly believe in that. You know, it says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And that's going to be 2/3 of our people. They're going to wake up to everlasting shame and contempt because they're going to remember that the truth was presented to them, yet they chose wickedness. You know, and we have the hope for elect. We're going to wake up to everlasting life. 1 Corinthians 10, and I'm going to start at verse 12. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. You know, we got to take heed, man. They have no temptation taking you but such as is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able. That's right. So we believe in these scriptures. So, yeah, we may go 2-3 days without eating. The Lord's going to provide for us. The Lord is not going to put us in a situation that we cannot overcome. You know, the Lord is bound by his word. The Lord knows who's sincere teaching his word. You know, the Lord knows who's looking for the attention, who's just doing this work sincerely. The Lord knows. So it says, the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. So if we're in the concentration camp, guess what's going to happen? The Lord's going to allow us to bear it. He's going to provide an escape for brothers. If brothers is like moving like a pilgrim, the Lord's going to make a way for us to bear it and be able to escape. You know, and the ultimate escape is being beamed up by the chariots, in which the world call UFOs, man. You know? Hey, if we lacking food, guess what? The Lord's going to make a way for us to escape and be able to bear it because he's going to provide the food. Scriptures tell us that in the book of Isaiah. I believe it's the 65th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. Either 65. Matter of fact, let me grab that. Let me see. Isaiah chapter 65. Start at verse 11. It says, but ye are they that forsake the Lord Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. That's right. They chose to do wickedness. So the Lord's going to reward them with wickedness. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear. But did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. And when did this happen? When the Lord sent his men out there in the highways and byways. When the Lord sent his men out there on the internet doing videos. They still didn't choose to follow the Lord. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. You know? So this proves that the Lord doesn't love everybody. It says, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. That's your reward, you know, for being wicked in Babylon the Great and the select countries around the world. That's your reward. But the Lord's going to allow brothers, his elect, you know, we have the hope for elect. The Lord's going to set us straight, man. And we believe that. We got faith in that. Because the Lord shows us that he's with us, you know, through our daily lives, man. You know, sometimes you don't know how you're going to make it through, but you end up making it through. You know, the Lord gives us faith boosters, man, to keep us going. You know, it's like you're running that marathon. You know, you're running a marathon. You got people on the sidelines giving you a cup of water to keep pushing. You know, those faith boosters that we get, you know, while we on this marathon. You know, so, hey, man, brothers, stay locked in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned. Stay up on the watch. Stay up on the ready because, hey, man, this thing can happen at any given moment of time. You know, so with that, Lord willing, I've been edifying. I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. I'd like to give double honors to apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutation, and blessings to the elect. Shalom.